Hey everybody, good morning. Hope we're doing well out there. Happy Tuesday. Nice little bullish move to start out. Expecting some continuation. We could actually get an early trade here. Move up like this has a break and you can expect to reach a new high. No second entry long set up. Triggered above this bearish bar, so I couldn't take that. And I am not drawing. No one's telling me. Right here, check it out. This bearish bar is where the second entry long triggered. But can't go long above the bearish bar. We do have 2 legs down on this correction, so expecting a push up. And again, yeah, this bullish channel, we have a break, wanting a new extreme here. So far bullish this morning, and we'll see how that plays out. Throw what's up in the chat as well, guys. Let me know you're here. Say hey to everyone else. Morning, Johnny B. Morning, Gabe. I'm looking at this too, guys. Might have a little bit of a correction channel forming. Morning, macaroons. Definitely ideal setup would be push above the EMA here and a failed second entry short. Morning, Grandpa Roger. Nice, Gabe. Congrats. I totally know the feeling. I got that for sure. Yeah, definitely PTSD. What I would suggest is, do micros at first. Just even like one contract or something, just to start getting comfortable with the idea of trading it and, seeing red numbers in your account and things like that. That's what I do. Right, even when I get a new one now, I usually start it off with micros just for a day. That's usually, actually for me, just usually a trade. But yeah, do it as long as you need to until it's like, okay, you can handle it mentally, because that's going to be super important with that, is being able to take losses and be okay with that. As we all know, that's a huge part of being profitable trading. So yep, take it slow. You got this, and stoked for you, man. Very geometric action this morning. Price action is looking good. Have this range here. Tested multiple times on the downside, on the top. If you were around in the middle of the night, this would be a good breakout pullback right here. Break out of the range, pull back. I mean, I guess it's only a first entry, so you'd have to be a little bit aggressive, but pretty decent. Hey, morning, Toad. finally have an ATR over 2. Imagine that. That's a novel concept. So this is definitely the area, guys, where we would need to see prices push above the EMA to remain bullish. Because again, we have 2 legs of correction already, right here and right here. So if you start getting more legs of correction, then we really will want to start to play this bearish channel. So this is the time for prices to bounce and continue bullish if we're going to see it. If not, we got to switch our bias a little bit and look for some shorts. And doesn't look like we're pushing up here. Hey, Jocko, good morning. Yeah, this could be, I mean, this is definitely a failed second entry long, though. Macaroons. And you technically had that even right here with the first entry, second entry that failed. You didn't really ever get a lower high. But you could also look at this as a visual failed second entry. So this would be the first, this would be the second. I don't have a lower high on my chart here, but you could trade that failed second entry long. You do have to go short below a bullish bar, not ideal. And you are expecting a new high of this move right here. So a little bit tricky to switch biases when you're looking for a second entry long. Oh, a lower high here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if we get a nice bearish bar that ends close to the EMA, I might consider taking that now that we have done 2 visual legs back and we are still not bouncing above the EMA. So if we get one more bounce here and a nice bearish bar, I might consider taking that. We got, what do we got? 14 minutes till the open, something like that. No big predictions for the day for me. Yesterday we didn't do too much. We had that big move up, got smacked down, and then we just drifted higher. Never made a new high on the day, but overall bullish for sure. That move to the downside never got going. Still hesitant on the daily chart. Just again, I talked about this yesterday, but obviously we've been bullish for the last month. Yeah, since mid-March we've been bullish, but it's been really light volume. Hard to trust, to be honest, in a bear market, but we still do have lots of room to the upside. Go test horizontal resistance up at like, another $4 or $5 on SPY. But could get smacked down, it's just hard to trust the longer term bullish moves. Jocko, no, hey man, if we're talking price action, I think that's a solid conversation. I have not tried the always in long short methods by Brooks, but I'd be interested to hear if someone has and has had success with them. Brooks, I mean, his style, he takes a lot of trades for sure. I don't really like doing that. So I think that's one big difference for me. But his ability to read the charts is fantastic. There's a lot to learn from him for sure. Oh, he posted a video yesterday about it. Okay, that's great. I'll definitely have to take a look at that. I don't even think I'm subscribed to his channel. I need to do that. Man, these last few bars have been really slow. I feel like that's happened the last week or two, that you get some pretty decent movement for, an hour before open, and then the last 15 minutes are just snail crawl. I agree, Jocko. His videos are a little bit more entertaining than his books, but I have found that some of the more helpful traders out there are not necessarily entertaining. Because they're traders, right? That's what they do. And yeah, you gotta sift through some stuff, find the gold. The Lambo videos are not usually gonna have a lot of good deep insight. Morning, TT. Yeah, I think that's what we should categorize are all those like day trade gurus as just Lambo videos. 6 minutes till the open at this point. I think at the open we will likely get a push up here. Well, here's what I want to see happen actually. I would like to see a push up, a new low, so that this down channel can be played out, and then I want to see us resume our bullishness. Why is that? Well, it's not great to have... I want price action to make sense. And when you have a move up like this, a nice tidy channel, good price action, and you have a break, you want to see a new extreme. So we don't do that if we just kind of reverse here. That's setting up for more of that kind of wacky price action. Trading is a lot easier when everything is playing out in a typical fashion, when all channels get a break in a new high or a new low, when ranges are expected. So when that doesn't happen, it makes things a little bit more challenging. You have to put together a lot more pieces. So that's what I would like to see happen. Push up, finish this thing off, so that can be done, and then get back going with the bullishness. Now, of course, what I want to see is not necessarily what is going to happen, so we'll simply be looking at the charts. But a guy can dream, right? We do also have jolts this morning at 10 a.m. That should be interesting. Definitely potential to move the market, so we'll make sure and not be in any trades at 10 a.m. Morning, Dylan. All right, 3 minutes. Oh, macaroons, don't go to meetings. Meetings are for squares. You don't want any of that action. A new Apex sale, what do you know? Actually, I think, let's see, I got an email from them. I think it's another 80% off sale. That's crazy. Oh yeah, I'm reading it now. Oh, they have a video to talk about it, so I don't know when the sale starts or anything. But hey man, more 80% off, why not? They should just make that their regular price at this point. Wow, nothing going here on the open. Come on, baby, let's get a bounce and a new low. Sitting right on that 10K EMA, which, by the way, I'm going to check that out right now. Oh boy, I mean, that's looking pretty much like a V reversal like yesterday. Boy, that is ugly. I don't like that at all. Hey, Brant, good morning. I personally think the horrible PA is more because of the indecision with economic policies. I don't think anyone really knows how to make sense of all the factors: inflation, rate hikes, economic growth. You have a strong economy, but inflation concerns, possible bank crisis, it's kind of two opposing forces, so it's hard for the market to really go anywhere. Almost like in a holding pattern, it seems like, until something crazy happens one way or the other. But I'm sure spring break doesn't help as well. Boy, Jocko, you're right. This open does just look like more overnight action. If you didn't know what time it was, you wouldn't have guessed that the market just opened. I mean, we have an obvious channel downwards, but it just feels too late to go short at this point. Morning, Gary. It just seems like this needs to be corrected. I don't think you're going to have it move up like this and then just a V reversal that never looks back. Stalling out around the 10K's EMA. Again, I'm watching for a break, one more feeble push lower, and then a resumption of bullishness. That would be the best thing in terms of price action and things to make some sort of sense. Good. I'm glad we're seeing a little bounce here. This is what I was hoping for. We push above the EMA, I might even consider a second entry short. Sorry, a failed second entry short. Haven't even got our first entry yet, just straight correction. The gap to the high yesterday was also filled already and got pretty close to the close as well. So that would also be in support of us bouncing. And this 5-minute candle looks like it might just be engulfed here. There's our first entry short. Boy, this is chop fest here a bit. first entry short did some wonders. Wow. A lot of folks tried to buy that bounce there, I think, with how quick that got smacked down. Well, typically, you know, with a break and new low, we'd say, great. We got a break. We got a new low. Let's resume that bullishness, but this has looked quite strong. Pretty solid move down. Was getting pretty orderly on the correction here, and that just got smacked down. So that is pretty bearish. We're below both EMAs. Looks like we might even have an EMA cross happening here pretty soon. Yeah, if this continues, we might have to look for a wider bear channel. As of right now, I'm going to keep it tight, and we'll just take a gander at what that might look like. But really just going to be judging the correction here with the break and new low. Okay, let's see the bullish bounce. Let's see where it goes. Does it kind of barely come up and not even touch the EMAs and start going lower? Or do we shoot higher? The bullish correction here is going to tell us a lot about what is more likely to happen, whether we have a larger bullish channel or not, or a larger bearish channel or not. My thought is that we do, because of how strong this is. But waiting for prices to really tell me that. Could also get a measured move of this guy here. I would put us way down there. So I'm going to be watching this correction. If it looks like the EMAs are holding. We do have that EMA cross, by the way. It looks like those are holding. It looks like this is validated. I'll look for a second entry short or a failed second entry long. I just drew the measured move there so I could take it off my chart. Now we know, if we get a trade in here, that will be a target for the runner. There's our first entry short. This likely will not set up very well. Your first entry happens this low and is already pushing the likelihood that we're going to somehow make it all the way up to the EMA or the channel and give a nice second entry is not likely. And we already have a new low. Gary, thank you for mentioning that. I'm going to throw that on my chart as well. With how fast we're moving down, how strong this is, I don't know that this is going to actually provide any support. We'll see though. Well, what do you know? Looks like so far it is providing a little bit of support. We got at least a temporary bounce. And we do have our 2 legs of correction on this channel here now. With the break, 1 leg, 2 legs. So if we're gonna bounce, this would be a good time. It totally does look like yesterday, Jocko. Just a smaller mountain, yeah. You do some beautiful Bob Ross style chart drawings with this. Draw some pretty little clouds. Second entry long. Oh my gosh, Brant. Well, I'm glad it worked out for you. But you know what? It's probably better for us when those kind of trades don't work out for us, because it kind of reinforces bad habits. Yeah, that is the hard part, I think. Sitting for a long time, either getting bored or getting antsy or feeling like you have to produce and do something because typically work you're doing, and that's how you're productive. With trading though, productivity is waiting, conserving your capital for the highest probability. But yeah, at least Brant, you had a nice bullish bar off the support and the low of this channel. So I mean, it wasn't the absolute worst thing in the world. But definitely not something that you will have success doing if you continue, you know, if that was your trade and your setup that you tried every time. Would not be probable or profitable in the long run. Cool, so we have a little break of our correction, already pushing to a new high. We'll see how the EMA reacts. Let's see if this channel is validated. We already have our first entry short. I don't know if I'm going to take this second entry short. I will likely wait for a lower high. Because as of now, do not know if this channel is valid or not. This could just be where we, this could be a break and new low of this, and we could be bouncing here. So want to tread lightly. It's not a textbook second entry short by any means. But so far, EMA is holding prices. I'm gonna take a look at 10K as well, see what that is looking like. Yeah, so 10K, this definitely looks like the break of our down move, and could see the correction come up to the EMA before making a new low. Right at our channel here. Also 8 minutes to news. So that makes it a little bit dicey to take a trade here. I like how prices are respecting the channel so far. Will not take the second entry short. It's a little bit too doji for me. This is an inside bar. Can't go short below it, but can wait on the lower high here. If it happens before news. We'll see if this is a really tempting lower high here. If it is, I'll likely take it. I'm just watching the time, making sure we don't get too close to the news. Our ATR's gone down below 2 now. Well, can't take that lower high. This doesn't really look good anymore, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I'm gonna hold off here. If this bar had been a nice lower high, that would have been worthy of consideration. Gosh, that is pushing below the EMA. It's nice and bearish. I don't know though. We got 5 minutes to the news. This is starting to look a little bit congested in here. EMA is flat. Yeah, I think I gotta skip that one. And it's not even really a good lower high. It's like an equal high right here. That is not, I mean, you know, it's created a nice little resistance here, but I don't know. With all those other factors, news here in 5 minutes, probably best to hold off. Might not even get triggered to the downside. We might just push up here. Well, there you go. Remove all doubt. I appreciate that, market. Thank you. And that does go to show why it's always important to wait for a trigger. Even if, let's say that this was a beautiful setup and we really wanted to get short on this bearish bar, always wait for the trigger. If you don't get the trigger, there's no trade, because that can happen. It can just go the other way. If you just say, oh man, this is a great bearish bar, I'm just gonna, you know, hit a market order or whatever, you're gonna get stopped out on that stuff. Third entry short failure, one of our bread and butter setups around here. I prefer the fourth entry triple trap, personally. One of my favorites. The 17th entry too, that's kind of goes underscored a little bit. If you're not watching for 17th entries, then I can't really help you. Interesting that we bounced perfectly on the overnight range support. Didn't even look back, no second retest. 2 minutes till news here, guys. But we do have a break of this channel, and it looks like we'll see, but to me this channel looks pretty decent. It had I guess it's only, no, it had 3 touches on the downside. 1, 2, 3. Looks right visually, so we'll see. We got a break. We'll see if we can push lower here. Of course, taking news into consideration, but otherwise I'd be interested in a failed second entry long if prices push below the EMA. 1 minute till news. Best to be flat now. Chess, thanks for the question. If you clarify your question a little bit, I would love to answer it. Place the lines at the top of the bar, the top of the wick. Are you talking about, what lines are you talking about? Like horizontal support and resistance? Are you talking about channel lines? Channels? Yeah, what I do, and what I think a lot of folks do for channels, is the channel starts. I'm just gonna go backwards. It's just news, guys. We don't don't trade this junk. Start the channel on a wick, and then draw it to the next body of the next swing. With ranges, I usually try to do the bodies, find a lot of touches around the bodies. But yeah, for channels, I start at the low or the high on the wick and then draw to around the bodies of the next ones. If that makes sense. All right, let's go back to our craziness. Nice, look at that move. TT, nice question. I mean, I think in general, whether you're talking about ranges or channels, 3 touches is when you can really be confident that it's valid. However, I'll start to draw it at 2. Just whenever you can see it visually. I mean, really, that's all that everything we're talking about is all visual, right? If other people are seeing it, then you want to draw it. So if you get an area that looks like a range, if you think it looks pretty obvious visually, then the chances are that other people are seeing the same thing. So yeah, I guess that's the best answer, is just when it looks like it could be valid. And play around with things, like draw something and see if it becomes validated. Like when you get 3 touches, okay, this is legit now. Draw it earlier. If you're seeing something and you're not sure about it, draw it and see if prices respect it. You'll be surprised sometimes. Some of the things you'll draw, you're like, I'm not sure if this is going to play out or not. Eventually it does. So the best way really is to experiment and to play around. Look at a lot of charts, go back to previous days, load some historical data, go bar by bar on a day, draw your channels where you think they are, and then see what happens the rest of the day. See if those are respected, see if they play out according to price action rules with breaks and new highs or whatever. The more you do that, those kind of exercises, and just work with charts, work with channels, the more that you're going to be able to see them without having to think about any rules surrounding them or anything. Man, this is some tricky action here. Some poor suckers just bought that. They're getting smacked down here. The last few days are mountainous, if you will. A lot of V-shaped reversals. See, like right now, I'm just playing around with channels. Obviously, we're seeing, everyone's seeing that there's a move up. I'm just trying to see, is there a pattern around that? Is there something that fits nice? The only thing I can really find is this with an overshoot, which would make sense why we corrected so sharply here. I don't really want to start my channel this high up. That's kind of like already halfway through the move. That doesn't really make sense. So what I'll do, since nothing's really fitting, I'm just gonna leave it. Just treat this as a break of this channel. We have our first entry long. And our first entry short as well. EMA is flattening. I'm kind of stuck between two biases, so I don't really want to trade this one way or another. Could easily see, you know, this bullish move needing continuation. Getting a measured move of this guy right here. But again, this was a big bearish channel and we had a break, so expecting also a new low. So two kind of conflicting patterns. So I'm just going to wait to get some more information here. This would be our second entry short here. It looked like it worked. I'm not going to be taking that though. Right into the EMA. We're close to having a new low, so it'd be hard to take a lower high here. Yeah, just kind of dicey. Zooming out doesn't really help. Sometimes you zoom out and it's like, oh, that's what's going on here. It's like, that just makes things more confusing. I'm not really sure what to think about this. News always makes charts look funky too. Thanks, Matthew, for the question. I don't like engulfing entries because, yeah, I have found that they're not as reliable because you don't know what the bar, I mean, bars can change so dramatically from where they're at to how they finish. I mean, that's the whole idea of hammers, right? Like, let's see if we can find a good example. Yeah, like this bar right here. That was at one point really bearish, you know. It was all the way down here at the bottom, bearish, right? So when you're taking engulfing entries, you're trusting that however the bar looks like, it's gonna stay that way. So on this, you know, there's no entry here, right? But let's say there was. You get a nice bearish bar, you're going, oh yeah, this is perfect engulfing entry, and then boom, it reverses and becomes a hammer. So that's why I try to avoid engulfing entries, because you don't know how the bar is going to finish. Once the bar finishes, then you have some solid information, and it's told its complete story, if you will. But in the middle of it, you know, could have some Tarantino plot twists. So I'm starting to look sideways here, to kind of go along with the earlier question about when to draw ranges and how many touches. Well, right here, I'm sure most everyone's seen that, and that kind of looks like a range. We have like 2 touches here, 2 touches here, so I'm going to draw it and see what happens. And then I'll just watch how prices react. If we just, you know, blow past this and don't look back, well, then I don't need to worry about this range. I'm going to play what's next. But if we drift down here and start to find support, okay, well, now that's telling us some more information. So that's how you can always be playing around with stuff. There always is a pattern. It's just our job to find it and trade it. Johnny, good idea to walk away to fight temptation. Always helpful. That's a huge step for any trader to be able to, at any point, just say, you know what? I'm not in the right headspace, or market conditions aren't great. I don't want to take a trade that I don't want to take. I'm just going to walk away for a bit. Helps the mindset so much, man, when you can walk away, do something else, go for a walk, you know. Whatever it is, go eat a sandwich. If anyone here struggles with FOMO and taking a bunch of trades that are risky and that you don't really want to be in, practice walking away. The market's not going anywhere. You just feeling the itch to take a trade? Don't. Just as a practice, just as to try to get better at that. Do it once. You know, if it's hard for you, just say, okay, today, at one point when I feel like taking a trade that I know is a little bit risky, I'm gonna go do something else. Try that once. See how you feel afterwards. Alright, so now I'm seeing this range I drew. Looks to be legit. Look, we got 3 touches now at the top. Prices are turning down. Both EMAs are following this range. They're both flat. So this is valid. So that's a good example of like drawing something kind of early, seeing if it works out, and now it is. So if we drift to the bottom here, maybe get a nice failed breakout, I'll consider a long. Thinking about overall bias here, I really don't have one, to be honest with you. This is starting to look just like a big range. So I'm gonna draw that and we'll see what happens. I don't think you have one strong bias one way or another. We had this big move up that had a break. We never even attempted really even a new extreme there. Had this big move down, another break, and couldn't get anything going. Had this sharp move down, second entry short that went nowhere. Now we're just chopping around. So when both a bearish channel and a bullish channel are not being played out, not continuing, then that is range-like behavior for sure. Short-term bias though, yeah, I don't even know. To be honest, I don't even know. Right now we're in a range. That's all I know. We're in a tight little range. We could come down here and get a new low after this channel. But we already kind of had the opportunity to do that here. Even had a second entry, nothing happened. So yeah, no real clear bias. I think we're just kind of ranging around. So I'm going to play localized price action. I'm going to play, you know, kind of the immediate stuff. And this is the immediate stuff right now. We got a range. And we just tested the top. So I want to see us come test down the bottom. Not strong. I don't want to see a swift move down, but kind of a choppy, you know, drift down here. Maybe a little fake breakout. And get a good long in there. See, this is what I was talking about. I didn't want to see was just 2 consecutive 3 red bars. It's not conducive to a high probability false breakout. Now, if from right here we make a break and then go down, I could feel good about that. Also might get a measured move of this little guy. That would be perfect as well. Right down there. Let's take a look at the 10K. Maybe that will give us some more info. Nope. Not really. To me, it does. I guess if I had to pick a side, it would be bearish because it does look like this needs at least an attempt down in this area. I think we're gonna flush some orders here. Might be swift. Okay, so that makes sense on the 10K. We have this break, at least a push to a new low. Nothing on the failed breakout yet. would have to happen soon. We hit our measured move. Don't want to see this go too much farther down to play a failure. If it does, at that point we'll need to look for a short. Yeah, see, no failed breakout now. I'm glad to see it go down though, to be honest, because that's making sense price action wise for this bearish channel to have some continuation after that break. So I appreciate that. And let's see how this support works here. Yeah, the daily macaroons, that's true. The daily chart definitely needs a correction. Again, I've been saying that. We've been drifting higher. Not really on crazy volume or anything. And there's been really no corrections in the last since like the 24th of March. So pretty much straight up. Breaking below that range support. Let's see what the overnight low does. I'm going to widen this bearish channel here. How strong that move is. That's one little hot tip. If you don't know when to widen channels or whatever, if you have a tight channel drawn and you get some swift movement, some strong movement in that direction after a break in a new extreme, widen that thing. Right here had, originally this was our new low right around here, but there was nothing, no even semblance of a bounce, just red candle, red candle, red candle. So that's when you know you need to widen it. We're below the overnight low now. Let's see if we can get some sort of correction here. Maybe a second entry short, but now we're hitting that measured move. That's kind of unfortunate. Well, actually, that might not be the measured move. No, I might need to recalculate that of how all the correction was. Let's see. Yeah, measured move's actually farther down now. Although I don't know if the news affects that or not. I haven't really ever experimented with that to see if it'd be different because this correction was on a news related. So I don't know. We'll see. We hit our original measured move. The new one is lower down. You factor in that news correction. See if we can get a second entry short here though. would like the EMA to catch up here. When you get these swift moves down, prices get so far from the EMA, so got to see some sort of a correction to get back to it. Correction is pretty steep too, and we technically have this move down, break, new low. So according to price action rules, this downtrend is played out here. Although we have a shorter term downtrend here that could get, another test lower, the larger pattern is played out, so we need to be a little bit careful of shorts. We do have room to that new measured move though, and if EMA holds prices, then that's a good sign. And here we go with our correction break. I want to see one more push up, second entry short. Come on, man, give us something. I think this is going to be another first entry short and drop. Brant and I are going to have to go start our new strategy. First entries only. And when that doesn't work, we'll just go to entries. Okay, watch the EMA here. If you ain't first, you're last. One of the greatest philosophers of our time, Richard Bobby, I believe, said that. All right, pushing above the EMA. At least testing it. The second entry short seems a little bit sketch at this point. I think I'm going to need to wait on a lower high. So here's a good example. We talked earlier about engulfing entries. Do you see how good that bar looked? And if you took the engulfing entry on there, you would have been one tick below there. You'd be in this thing. And then look how it finished. That tells a completely different story than if that bar had finished red. Now, if that bar had finished at its low, you'd have a pretty good case for taking that trade. But then it comes up at the very end, definitely changes the flavor a little bit. At this point, I really kind of want it to shoot higher here and remove any temptation for me to take a short. So I just don't know, with the larger pattern being played out, how wise it is to short here, even though the short-term trend needs a new low. Still need the measured move if you're counting the news correction. But with the larger channel already having a break a new low, I mean, this is definitely a moment for things to correct. And I don't want to get trapped in that action. But this is kind of removing all doubt here. Stacked at this point. No clean second entry, no lower high. And we do have a clean break and new high of this correction. So now it does feel a bit safer to take a short if we all of a sudden push below the EMA and give a failed second entry long. Now I'm just playing around here with possible wider channel. Not ideal to draw this wide of a channel after most of the momentum has been bearish. Just looking. If we get a third touch on it though, I'll put it back up there. Dylan, let's see, made 2 measured legs up, and that sideways was 2 legs of correction. Oh, well, let's take a look at that measured leg. I mean, yeah, it is pretty close. And again, we have a break and a new high of that, so touching this EMA, this would be a good moment for things to drop back down and continue bearish. That's what I would like to see. That would make the most sense to me, I guess, or giving the most confidence in taking a trade. We push below here and have a failed second entry long. I like that opportunity. I hope so, Chess. I hope so. I'm going to take a look on 10K, see if that paints a clearer picture. It really doesn't. Although, on the 10K, you can see maybe this. Definitely too wide to trust so far. You have some space at the bottom here. Hoping for Chess that he gets another big runner like yesterday. Good luck. Good luck. Cheering for you. I really don't like how that looks, but if we continue higher, there's definitely going to be a need to figure out a larger bullish channel. If you haven't already, guys, please like this morning's live stream. This is at all helpful to you, or if you just enjoy hanging out, appreciate the support. I'm going to take off this range that I drew. That didn't end up working out. Again, you know, don't be afraid to draw things and then delete them if they aren't validated. Ooh, I kind of like, looks like we're getting close to confirming that. Gonna keep that for now. See if we can get a nice second entry here. If it formed like this, that would be just beautiful. Still got a chance. Nice. That's the candle I wanted to see. Let's get that first entry. Not thrilled about how this second entry might go directly into the 10K's EMA. And this candle was not helpful. But this would confirm the trend line we got going on here. We move up, and I could feel pretty confident about taking a long there. It's gonna have to move up pretty significantly here for me to consider taking that long. We're now below the EMA in a current downtrend here. Chess, I'm hoping that you did not get stopped out on that little candle. You're doing, if you're still in this, you're doing well right now. Still in, all right. Good work. Okay, so now I'm gonna delete this. Finding support right at this low here. Does look like we're trying to reach for that measured move though. Which, now I'm gonna take a look at that larger channel that we had on the 10K. See if it makes sense here. It's a possibility. You should change your name to 4-dimensional chess, 4D chess. I don't really see a way to enter this down here, even though I'm expecting that we probably come down and hit this measured move. The only way that I could have gotten in on that is if we had the second entry long failure occur down here somewhere below the EMA. But we just dropped. Just a straight drop. Not even a first entry there. Okay, so now we do have a new low of this downtrend. Look at this, looks like very similar to here. You had this move down. Look how steep that correction was, and then just kind of V-shaped reversal. Kind of looks the same here. Steep correction and then a V-shaped reversal. You look at today's action on a 5-minute chart, it just looks really crappy. Does not look good. Big candles in both directions. Yeah, so I'm just going to watch the bullish correction now that we have new lows of all of our downtrends. Gonna judge the bullish correction. If it's shallow and gets played out easily, I can look for a short. But it looks like we might just continue dropping here with no entries. Super exciting. I think we're pretty due for a bounce here. We might go touch that measured move first. But I do not think this is a very strong downtrend. It's been very, very choppy, very volatile. Gonna take a look at the 10K, see if that offers anything. It does not, except that I like the way that this bearish channel looks. I wish that we would have gotten a touch here and a touch here. We're just kind of in the middle. That's a little bit weird. Makes it difficult to trust, but we come down and touch the bottom and then give a correction. That will be a great short setup. By that time, maybe the EMA will be a little bit closer. Well, I guess I don't care about this EMA too much, but yeah, touch on the bottom there. And a correction will be a good short opportunity. Trying to see the wedge that you're looking at here, Brant. I don't really see a wedge, to be honest. Looks just kind of like bearish chop to me. On the 10K, okay. Yeah, I don't see that either. Unless you're looking at the last couple of days, maybe. Last 2 days just look like a range. These are some ugly bars in here. No conviction in these bars. Lots of dojis, hammers one way or the other, big bars one way or the other. Gosh, this just looks like overnight action right here. Love 3 dojis in a row. That's the best. It's one of my favorites. Oh no, Dylan, we must have done something to deserve this garbage PA. All the FOMO. Market's like, you FOMO too much on trend days. Let's just give you some chop. Can't FOMO into chop. Yeah, I think that's how it works, macaroons. Maybe Chess can split his earnings with us. $39. Okay, Chess. All right. Okay. Hope you get there. There is a bearish bias to even this chop here. I could see us continuing to chop down like that. That is my highly scientific price action prediction right here. If that drawing comes to fruition, you're welcome. Well, if you like bottom picking, here's a good one to pick right here. A nice bullish hammer. There's not even really a good range you can draw here because it has this weird downward slope. I mean, that's just ugly. There's no way around that. That is just gross. Gross price action. See if we hold below the overnight low. This doesn't offer anything. I'll take it off the chart, but just it might at this point. like that that candle moved down. That gives us some sort of structure for a range here. Ooh, that's like a relief to find a little bit of structure when just stuff's chopping around. Like drifting out to sea there for a minute. But to me, there's really nothing actionable here, and it doesn't look like we will for a while. Again, since all of our downtrends are played out, technically speaking, do you want a move with conviction down to the bottom? That would be great. And then a pullback gives a second entry short. Beautiful breakout of that range there. A lot of bottom pickers. Just got destroyed. If you didn't do this candle, folks got in on this one and this one. Sayonara, suckers. Yeah, chess. 39, baby. It hit. 12.5 points, right on. Good trade. Yep, so at this point, looking for a second entry short at the EMA, maybe right here. I will want to wait for, you know, ideally would want to wait for a larger pullback. So a move down to the bottom, larger correction that comes to like the midline of this channel, EMA as well. That will be the highest chance for high probability trade right now in this choppy crap. So, oh yeah, we did hit that measured move as well. So this is definitely a time for a correction. I don't like how none of these extremes have been touched in this larger channel. Definitely reduces the reliability of it, but yeah, overall bias is bearish, so that's what I'd say. Stick to the short side, look for opportunities to short, watch the bullish corrections play out, make sure they're all the way played out, and then look for a safe entry to go short. That is the plan for today. I don't think the next setup for me is going to happen for a while, so I'm probably going to call it here. But another great session with you guys. Appreciate all the call outs, questions, conversation. Been real. Look out for that Apex 80% off sale. I don't know exactly when it's going to start. But I'm going to look at watch their video and stuff. And there might be a more announcement. I'll tweet it out. If you're not following me on Twitter, definitely follow me there. I'll tweet that out if there's more info. And yeah, guys, see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. You know the drill. Happy trading, everyone.